Hey, what's
There
going
we
on,
go.
fellas?
How's it going, man?
Good. How y'all feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good. So, what you been up to tonight?
Nothing. Tonight over here, it's 5 p.m. We're here in Vancouver today.
Oh.
Yeah, so not too much, guys. Just waiting for this. Special shout out to Toronto real quick, because I'm from there and I miss you guys dearly. And I hope everything is good with your COVID cases and the freezing cold weather and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, hopefully things get better with the COVID cases. Definitely, not just here but everywhere. We hope that that really works out because, as the old man said earlier on the show, wear a mask, people. Wear a mask.
Simple as that.
So, of course, Marvel's Hellstrom came out on the 16th on Hulu. You play Derek on the show, who he's in a relationship with one of the main characters. Can't remember the character's name. It was Chris, I think.
Yes, Kris Yen.
Yes, Kris Yen. Yes, and man, I feel for Derek because Derek, he's a hardworking guy, and he just wants his boyfriend to stand up to his boss and let him know, hey, man, you work too many hours. I want to spend time with you.
That's all. We've all been there at one point or another. You know, you're just looking after your boo thing. You're just looking after your partner. Simple life. Simple life. What's cool about Derek too is and what I enjoy about playing him is that all he cares about is this simple task. You know, make sure that your partner's good. You know, being loved and respected at his place of work. And he has no idea that there's like superpowers and demons and exorcists going all around him, which is fun.
No, it is kind of funny that he's kind of in the dark about that, totally. And even to the point where it's like, you know, he has like one-on-one confrontation with Anna. There's verbal jousting. There's a physical altercation of a kind, and he still doesn't 100% know what's going on.
He's a great cop, guys. Great cop.
Oh man! So, what was it like shooting the show?
It was brilliant, my friend. It was phenomenal. It was my first time on anything this massive, and showing up to set. There was a whole bunch of secrecy, so going into that was a little difficult because they only sent you your sides. They only let you know what's going on in your scenes, and that's all, which could be very difficult as a storyteller, as an actor, trying to make choices because you're not quite sure if it's going to align with the director's vision or the writer's vision. But once you get in there, they were all so warm and welcoming and was down to sit you down and go back and forth before you went to camera. And everyone was just so friendly and it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had on set.
Well, that's awesome. Now, of course, you're a self-professed big Marvel fan. You like the Ghost Rider.
Massive.
Yeah. So would you say, like, because I know you've brought up Ghost Rider, you've brought up Iron Man in interviews. Would you say those are your favorites?
I would say the Hulk. The Hulk is hands down my favorite.
Nice.
Yeah, I just love that the idea of just a mild-mannered guy that turns into the most powerful thing ever. And a running joke I have with my friends is if I were to have any power, I would not be allowed to have the Hulk's power because I would just lose it constantly. Like I'd be waiting for a streetcar or a bus or something and it would pass me and I would turn green and destroy everything.
But that's the beauty of the Hulk, right? It's everybody has that inside them. Everybody knows what it's like to lose a little bit of control. But obviously, with this show, you've had a chance to dip your toe a little bit in the world of the Marvel universe on film. If you were so fortunate as to have another opportunity to play another character, a superhero character in the Marvel U, who would you pick? If you could pick anybody, would it be Hulk or is there somebody else across the board?
Across the board, I can pick anyone?
Anybody.
I would go with Blade.
Nice.
I would go with Blade. I've had a dream as a young kid. Even before I knew I wanted to be an actor, I loved Blade, and he was. I mean, everyone gives Deadpool all of love and respect, and he deserves it. But that was not the first R-rated Marvel film.
That's right.
Yeah.
1998. Yeah.
There you go. You know it. It was Blade across the board. Wesley Snipes, who started it all. And I even watched the series when a series came out. And
Sticky Fingers. Yeah.
And if I could play anyone. This year I was gonna go as Blade for Halloween, but now
you can still do it in your apartment.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's good, but you got to get the leather jacket. I got to get
Yeah,
the big katana. There's a lot behind it.
No,
yeah.
totally, totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, you brought up the Blade TV series. They really played on the Daywalker there because there were so many scenes in the fucking day that it was like you got a Blade show that's all in sunlight. Where are the other vampires gonna go? You know?
Right? I think it was a budgeting thing. They just didn't
Yeah,
have CGI. They couldn't afford CGI.
couldn't get good day for night. That's
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
oh,
Oh,
man. Yeah. Now with the show, of course, you mentioned there's a lot of secrecy and stuff like that. So that you guys had very specific rules while you were shooting that show. But now, with the stuff you're working on now, of course, in the post-COVID world, you worked on Windsong, and you're currently working. I don't know if are you still currently shooting Accused and on the Run?
I literally just wrapped this past Monday.
And so with those things, like there's like a bunch of different rules now. So how has it been on sets for you?
You know what? First and foremost, I just want to show love for anyone that is filming in any capacity right now. Indie, big budget, in between. It's a weird time all around. And the fact that we get an opportunity to tell stories right now when there is no guarantee that it'll last past tomorrow is amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, the first project that I went to was Windsong, yes, and it was difficult. It was actually one of the first projects here in BC that started filming. And luckily for me, it was with the production company I worked with in the past. So everyone was very familiar with each other. It was a family dynamic. And outside of the stop and start of it all, there was just this underlying current of appreciation that we're back to work. Taking those 4 months off and not knowing what was going to happen next was a scary thing. And we were all back and ready and willing to do whatever we had to continuously keep working. So yeah, it was a little janky at first. It's a lot of things change, but once you kind of get into the rhythm of it, it's like just another day at the office. It really is.
I don't know. That's cool, man. And of course, it's good that the industry has gotten back together out there and is being able to do stuff and is doing this safely as possible. So have you been doing a lot of self-tape auditions as well? Is the audition process totally gone to self-tape now, I guess?
Yeah, it has, and there's positives and negatives in all things self tapes, as I'm sure you've heard. But yeah, self tapes are great because there's a bunch of us out there that prefer it because you can do as many takes as you like. You essentially can just put your best foot forward each time. The difficult thing about that is you miss out on that person-to-person interaction. You go into an audition room, you got the director, producer, casting directors, whatever it may be. You can come in with a great job, but if you miss the mark, they'll tweak you.
Mhm.
Without that, now you give your best take and that's it. It's seldom that you get feedback to really work it in a way that makes sense for everyone. And another thing, a positive and negative, you have a lot more opportunity. I've noticed that after things have started getting back to normal-ish, I've had more self-tape opportunities than ever, and across the board, everybody that I know has had the similar opportunities. They went from seeing 10 to 15 people, if we're throwing out some arbitrary number, to we'll say 40 people now, because all they have to do is click and watch.
Yeah.
Competition's a little bigger now as well. You're not getting the feedback, but you're also getting more opportunity. And you can make sure you're always putting your best foot forward. So again, it's a double-edged sword. I love it and I hate it at the same time.
No, totally, yeah. Now, it's kind of interesting. Tonight we had Elias Tefexes on earlier
Yeah,
for Blood of Zeus,
yeah.
and he's talking about that. And it's funny because that of course that show all about Greek gods, and you yourself have since you were a kid have been a big fan of Achilles and Hercules.
I have.
What is it about those characters that you yourself have really gravitated towards?
I think I can think back to my first time watching Disney's Hercules at home on VHS. I could, for the life of me, don't know how old I was, but it was one of my childhood memories. And what I loved about that story is it's essentially the story of all heroes. It's it's mild-mannered, normal people that that have something crazy happen to them, and then they have powers. But for Hercules, he was the closest thing to Superman in the regards of his superpower was trying to be like everyone else, you know. And I thought that was super fascinating as a kid to watch this guy with all these God-given gifts that he has to downplay, has to constantly try and be like everyone else. And when I was a kid, every kid thinks they're special. Every single one of us think we're superheroes in our own life story. So when I watched this animated film that made me laugh, and the music was amazing, and it just hit something different in me. And from that point forward, I started watching Kevin Sorbo's version of Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. Then I'm getting into Xena, Warrior Princess. Now I'm watching Sinbad. Now I'm watching Young Hercules with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Wow, you covered the whole Sam Raimi produced spectrum there. That's great.
Yeah. And with subconscious, I didn't even understand at the time. I was just watching great programming, but I was learning so much about the Greek gods and just their world and the Roman Empire and Egyptians. And they just did such a really good job of entertaining, but also dropping facts at the end of the day that really interested me as a young kid. And it's just followed me into my adulthood. I absolutely love it.
Well, that's awesome. That's really good. Well, you see, I think you should go as Hercules next year. You got the love for the character. That'd be great.
All I gotta do is put on an orange vest and get a long wig, and I'll rock Kevin Sorbo.
There you go. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome, man. That'd be fantastic. Now, of course, it is Halloween tomorrow, and I know people they when it comes to getting the treats and the trick or treats, a lot of them like the candy and the chocolate. But you yourself, man, you're like me. You like the salty. You're a chip man, right?
Yeah, chip guy till I die. I'm gonna get that tattooed over my ribcage at this point. So.
So what is your favorite brand of chip?
My favorite brand of chip is Doritos ketchup.
Ooh.
Now, for those listening that aren't here in Canada, we have ketchup chips. Ketchup chips are delicious. It's very much a Canadian thing. They don't have it everywhere. Doritos is dope. They made a ketchup. Limited time. It only comes out for a couple months a year, every year for the last couple of years. It just went away for a while and then recently kind of came back. And I love it. I love ketchup. Ketchup's one of my favorites. I love Doritos. When they put them together, you can't go wrong.
So since
one other one, because I mess with chips hard. President's Choice, loads of jalapeno poppers.
Oh yeah, that one's a relatively new one. That's only been around for about a year. Yeah,
not even that long. And the thing with President's Choice, loads of whatever flavor, is if you imagine a bag of chips and you go to the bottom where all the flavor is, their entire bag is the best chip. So you find those in drug markets.
Yeah.
Some random Zellers, if Zellers are still around. There's like little places you can go to find those.
Oh, totally.
So do you stockpile the Doritos ketchup chips in the little windows that they
100%, and it's never enough.
just a room full of Doritos ketchup chips.
It's aggressive, fellas. I'm not even joking. I go through a bag of those things a day.
Oh man, well, I hope you get to enjoy a bag of Doritos ketchup real soon. Maybe somebody can give you a bag for Halloween. You never know. Oh man. Well, Hamza, I want to thank you for coming on the program. I look forward to people getting to check out more of your stuff. Of course, Windsong and Accused and on the Run is going to be coming out eventually. And of course, people can check you out right now on Marvel's Hellstrom on Hulu, right?
Yeah, of course, guys, check it out. It's a dope program. It's Halloween. It's spooky. You got some powers, and you got a really cool family dynamic that you get to watch unfold on Hulu. So everybody tune in.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the program, man. Have yourself a great night.
What's up, guys? Take care.
Thanks a lot.